Hello, everyone. This is Nicole Ryan with Lana Solutions, your debt diva. If it's your first time tuning in, I try to give a little bit of my background so you know who I am and why I am a debt eliminator, if you will, debt diva. I own a company called Lana Solutions, and we help people with debt relief and credit education. I think the most important thing to know about Lana Solutions and your girl Nicole Ryan, aka Debt Diva, is that we are on a mission to help folks eliminate debt. And the credit education piece is just a byproduct of what we do. So we are not your Burger King um, type of organization, if you will, have it your way. No, we really believe in financial literacy, wisdom, understanding helps get us out of any type of financial ruins that we could be dealing with. So that tells you a little bit about me. I come from the collections background. We are for profit, but if you mention KPAO, we would be more than happy to give you a free consultation and speak to you about whatever you have going on financially and partner you up with some free nonprofit organizations here that can help you for free. All right, so let's dive in. So as of May 5th, student loan collections are starting back, right? Well, there are millions in collections, you guys. And so the thing is, a lot of people have been on halt since COVID 2020. So we're talking years later, folks have to kind of get back in the habit of making these payments that were probably already tough, right? So here we go now. If you're in collections, they're even talking about garnishment, you guys, and really pressing forward. And if I've noticed anything about the Trump administration, is when they say they're going to do something, it's actually been happening expeditiously, right? So I would say not to wait, but to definitely, first thing we need to do is find out who is our student loan servicer and are we behind, right? Because these are folks that are in default that have been on hold, aka collections already, where you've been getting those notices that have been saying, hey, pay your bill. Let me read just a little bit of this. So as of April 29th, 2025, significant developments are unfolding in the U.S. student loan landscape, particularly concerning the resumption of collections and changes to forgiveness programs. And that's from legalconsumer.com. Now, starting May 5th, 2025, the Department of Education will resume collections on defaulted federal student loans, ending a pause that began in March 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This move affects approximately, you ready for this? 5 million borrowers currently in default, with an additional 4 million at least 3 months behind on payments. The Treasury Offset Program will be reinstated, allowing the government to withhold federal tax refunds up to 15% of Social Security benefits and up to 15% of federal salaries. Now, borrowers in default, you'll be getting an email over the next 2 weeks outlining your options. And if you want to exit default, including loan rehabilitation, which requires 9 voluntary payments over 10 months. However, the involuntary payments may continue during this period. Okay, so what does that mean to us, Debt Diva? That means that we do not sit around and wait or get paralyzed because of fear, but we actually get online and go to student. Let me bring it up here so I can make sure I'm giving you the exact website that you need, but I'm pretty sure it's studentaid.gov. And it is going to allow you, federal student aid, under studentaid.gov, you should be able to go in. I know you probably can't see that from here, but if it's .gov, you're safe. You should be able to go in, put in your email and password, and log into your account. If you can't, don't fret. They also have a way that you can contact them via the telephone, all right? So what you can do is, and I'll make sure the phone number is put up after this segment, you guys, so that you have the correct number. Because for whatever reason, you guys, if you've ever tried to get in and actually call any type of website nowadays, they take you through a million steps. But I'll make sure they have the 1-800 number so that you can contact student aid if you can't find them online. But it's studentaid.gov. Find out who your servicer is. If you do have mail that you've received from your servicer in the past, when I say servicer, I'm talking Nailnet, right? Mohila, or whomever. There's so many different names that they have out there. Find out exactly who your, matter of fact, let's look up and see who are the federal government servicers. Might as well look it up now, right? Just because they change from, they have just recently changed in a big way. Federal Student Loan Servicers. In Omaha, we know Nailnet as a big one, right? Okay, so we got Nailnet, Mohila, Aid, Vantage, and ECSI. I'm not familiar with ECSI, you guys. How do I contact Federal Student Loan? Okay, we got it. 1-800-433-3243. 1-800-433-3243. So the average student loan, you guys, just from doing my research, and I was blessed to work with a nonprofit organization and speak in our capital a couple years back about student loans. The average borrower has about anywhere from 29 to 30 something thousand dollars in student loan debt. And these are millions and millions of people here in America, totaling about 1.77 trillion. So it doesn't surprise me that 5 million are actually getting ready to be affected on May 5th, right? Which is next week. Let's focus, you guys. This is happening within the next week or two. And that's why you're going to be getting an email. So chances are, if your email's not up to date, you definitely really want to contact 1-800-433-3243 as soon as possible. Now, by the time this airs, I'm sure it's probably going to be May 5th or after May 5th, 2025. So just be sure to get on the horn and share this with friends and family members. Contact that number. Should you have any issues, you can always reach out to me, especially if you mention KPAO. I can get you this phone number and some different steps that you can take to get out of default and to get things actively moving again. There's also ways that you can have this forgiven, but you have to be familiar with those different steps. And at Lana Solutions, that's what we do, you guys. But you can do it yourself. You know how? By picking up the phone and calling these entities and not being afraid. Don't let the $38,000 or the $29,000 average student loan debt scare you. Know that you have options. And when I sit down with clients and I see the tens and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt, one thing I have people do when they're dealing with a ton of debt, right? Because debt can be a lot of pressure if you can't see your way out of it. I make sure they go through each loan. Does that make sense? Because some of you have like 16 different loans. I make sure that they pump the brakes and they go through each loan. And if you need help, please give me a call or connect with some of the nonprofits here in Omaha, Nebraska that can help you comb through your debt for free. Whether you got 8 student loans broken up or just one student loan, see the original date of that student loan. Find out what the interest rate is and the payment on it. Validate the debt. Make sure that it was a legit debt. Just using Bellevue University as an example, let's say that you had a major bachelor's of science in marketing management, and there's one course on there for marketing 101 for $2,300. I'm always going to tell you to review this information and make sure it's accurate, because that may have been a class that you withdrew from or you never ended up taking. So don't go paying hundreds of thousands or $29,000 to $30,000 worth of debt if you don't even know what school was paid and for what course. So pump the brakes just a little bit and remove the fear, and the best way to do it is wisdom and knowledge and understanding, you guys. Because once you can get an understanding and wrap your brain around what you actually owe, you don't feel so bombarded with the debt. Because the same way we rack up debt, one account at a time, one class at a time, one credit card swipe at a time, we can come up out of it the same way. But when you allow fear and the unknown to penetrate, it will paralyze you and you'll end up getting garnished. And that's not what we want, because the mind of the average consumer that's just sitting in collections not doing anything, the only thing they're thinking of is, I don't have the money to pay this. I don't have the money to pay this. But you have to change your perspective and you have to think, okay, it's a fact that I currently don't have the money to take care of this, but I can still contact the folks that I owe and try to negotiate or see what they have available to get myself out of this financial hardship. That way you move away from this victim mentality that can paralyze you, right? And you move into a state of, okay, I know where I am right now to date, but that doesn't mean this financial transition can't happen. So I really want you to focus in on that and not get so bombarded with, oh my God, I got all this debt. I can't pay it. There's nothing I can do. They're getting ready to garnish me. If you stay in that state, that's exactly what they're getting ready to do, right? But you don't have to stay in that state. I want you to know and understand what you actually owe and what servicer you're working with and what options they have available for you. So I got some good news. With student loans and IRS debt, I've been doing this for over 25 years, I have found that they will work with you a lot easier than just your regular creditors or your credit card lenders and banks, right? One thing about student loan debt, they're well aware of what's going on in the arena of the millions and millions of people that owe student loans and not having the income to pay it back, right? This has been headline news for how long? Many, many years. So now there are different programs put in place and still, as you know, to date, being negotiated to try to benefit us. Even though we've found that in a lot of cases it has not worked, that doesn't mean they're not still trying to press forward and fight for us. Even our states, there's current states right now pushing back this new law that has passed and this new student loan repayment collection starting back up, you're being garnished. Know that you have people in your own state that are still trying to fight for you. In the meantime, let's do our part, okay? Student loans, they haven't gone anywhere for many of us, right? Get on the phone with your servicer today, whether that be Nelnet or Mohila, or the other two that they talked about, Aid Vantage, and I forgot the other one. Just make sure you reach out. For those of you that used to have Great Lake Borrowers, who was around for many, many years, at least in the 90s up until 2024, double check, validate this debt. I want to make sure you're not paying for stuff that you don't owe. Because when files start to transfer to other servicers, stuff gets mishandled. And information that gets extracted from one system and then communicated to another system, numbers start to change and fluctuate. And unless we, the consumer or the borrower, speaks up and says something, a lot of times we don't get taken care of or protected. So make sure, and if there's a big enough bark, that's when stuff starts to change. So don't be in fear. I want you to take the time and try to work through this. Just as fast as they're trying to collect it, I want you to be just as fast to get on that phone and get some help. And be honest. And don't have any guilt or fear around where you are financially. What you can do is work something out to turn it around, okay? And again, you mentioned KPAO. I'd be willing to have a conversation with you and give you a few more nuggets on how you can correct your personal student loan case, okay? Let's see what else we have on here, just to give you a little more information. What borrowers should do. And I think this is something I kind of already covered, but repetition is how we learn, okay? That's the teacher in me. I come from a family of teachers too. So if you're affected by these changes, consider the following steps. Check your loan status, right? Determine if your loans are in default or at risk of default. Because remember, they're coming after the folks that are in default. So if you find out that yours is not in default, good for you, but still find out, okay? Explore repayment options. That's another thing we just covered. Contact your loan servicer to discover income-driven repayment plans. That's IDR, you guys. Income-driven repayment plans or loan rehabilitation programs. Stay informed. Keep an eye on official communications from the Department of Education and participate in public hearings if applicable. Now, this is where your state tries to get involved a lot of times to help us and gives the public an opportunity to speak up. Speak up. And if you can't physically get there to some of these hearings, find out what you can do or send a friend or family member on your behalf. And this is coming from Forbes, you guys, and Politico is where these two sources just came from. I think I've said it enough, though, before I get ready to wrap up. I want you guys to understand that you have in Nebraska something called Consumer Credit Counseling. That's an organization all through the state of Nebraska that helps with any type of consumer debt and loans and so much more for free. You have places like the Empowerment Network. You have Grow Nebraska, who helps with businesses more so, but are also have their hands in a lot of economic development on higher levels here in the state of Nebraska, here in the city of Omaha. Get involved. Get with the Department of Economics. Reach out to them. See what type of stuff they have going on that can help. When it comes to kids, you got Urban League, you got Girls Inc., you got Boys Club. You have so many different people here in Omaha, Nebraska, like KPAO. This is actually a station that gets involved and tries to keep us all in the know when it comes to different things here in Omaha, Nebraska. And we don't know everything, but a lot of us know enough to be dangerous. So keep that in mind. Lana Solutions has had its hands in the financial industry for over 25 years on an international and nationwide basis. So even though we cater to clients, personal and business, right here in Omaha, Nebraska, we also have clients all over the state, you guys. And in the corporate sector, we were blessed to work internationally. So don't be afraid to reach out to me. If you have questions and concerns, don't be afraid to reach out to KPAO. If you want to hear about different financial topics like home ownership, taxes, investments, I want to help cover it all. I want to help shed light on what's been so dark for so many years. That's been our finances. We have to let the light in. It's your girl, Nicole Ryan, with Debt Diva, with Lana Solutions, your Debt Diva. I always think about the quirky stuff when you're recording until I do it. And then it's so funny to me. Hopefully Mike will cut this, but even if he doesn't, this is hilarious. It's your girl, Nicole Ryan, with Lana Solutions, your Debt Diva. Find out what's going on with your student loans, okay? You can call me locally at 402-817-3049. And if you happen to get a hold of this on social media and you're not in Omaha, Nebraska, you can get a hold of Lana Solutions toll free at 1-888-568-6312. If you want to get online and check us out on Better Business Bureau, you can go to bbb.org, or you can go to our website, lana.us. LAANA.US. And I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. As you can see, KPAO. We have a radio show on Fridays, 95.7 The Boss, during our lunch hour, during the at noon. We normally start at noon. Sometimes we'll start around 12-ish or 1, but you can catch us there. But you can definitely get on social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, any social media panel. I guarantee you we're on there. YouTube, TV, just connect with us because we are here for you. Nicole means the victory of the people. I want to see everybody winning in their finances, okay? Have yourself a beautiful day. Until next time, bye.